Leave now, and may the Force make you...
Okay. The stream looks like it's running okay. Sometimes in conversations like that where I don't have a whole lot to say, but I don't want to interrupt your viewing experience, it's good to just chill.
Come, speak with me. Darth Revan appreciated all species of the galaxy, and so do his followers. I remember when I was like you. I remember my trials and the joy of killing in the Master's name. You're so fortunate.
How often does the Master ask that someone be killed?
The Master doesn't have to ask. He trusts me with that burden of judgment. I'm Ladra. Once the personal assassin of a Sith Lord, I am now the serene protector of the Master and his students. I contemplate Revan's teachings as I execute intruders and heretics. But I also guide initiates and help determine their trials.
Your wisdom must be great, Ladra. Will you share it?
Of course I will. That is how I honor the Master. Every Revanite's initiation includes a trial of the past, a rite to bind the initiate to Revan. Your rite will be very special. You will find the mask of Darth Revan, what he wore after becoming Sith. It's a powerful symbol of his greatness, long lost to us.
Retrieving forgotten lore is my speciality.
It really is,
and I'm glad to put your skills to use. The mask is in a collection of antiquities possessed by my former teacher, the Sith Lord Grathan. It must be freed from that heretic, rescued in a rain of blood and death.
Murder and mayhem await.
Speak to Torun, our curator. He'll give you the spiritual guidance you need and tell you where the mask is. When your journey's done, bring the mask to me. Good luck. Welcome the peace that comes with serving the Master.
See, the thing there is it's the only thing here is that it really does... I was right, though, by the way. I thought so. You do have to go to Lord Grathan's estate.
Well.
I'm glad I picked this. I'm glad I did this first, then, before heading out there. Because, oof, I would be annoyed if I had to go back. I don't really like having to go to Lord Grathan's estate very much.
What have we got here? I wasn't expecting a visit from any initiates, but you're welcome to stay and talk, in any case. I'm Torun, devoted servant of the Master and student of Revan. What can I do for you?
I need to know where Darth Revan's mask is, and be quick.
So, Ladra sent you. She wants me to ritually prepare you for contact with Revan's mask, eh? A pointless ceremony. Ladra's devoted to the Revanites. She's also obsessed with that mask. Says it talks to her. Ladra wants the mask to represent everything Revan ever was, but he wasn't just Sith. Before his rebirth, he was both Sith and Jedi.
Now you've got me interested.
Good. I hoped as much. It's tempting to seek answers in material objects. Ladra will use the mask to teach that Revan was a being of only darkness. I don't want that mask becoming our Order's sole focus. Bring it to me.
Just enough
I'll keep it safe among a few like-minded scholars.
Not sure I want a full-blooded Sith angry with me.
She doesn't need to know what really went on between us. I'm sure Ladra promised a grand reward for the mask. I can't match it, but I can promise your initiation will proceed smoothly. Will you help me preserve the real Revan? Or will you let Ladra overshadow everything with a Sith relic?
I'll bet that mask would look good on me.
I doubt it's in any condition to wear. Still, that would be better than giving it to Ladra.
Can you imagine that? Just taking it and wearing it? Oh, so
I don't have to tell you to be careful, but may the Force be with you. May it keep you strong and guide your return.
Alright. Yep, I've got to go back to the wall and then run out into Grathan's estate and all of that chaos. I really hope I'm not forgetting another Grathan mission. I feel like I'm forgetting another Grathan mission, but I don't want to go back to the Kaas estate just to make sure. Like the city of the actual Kaas city. I guess we'll figure out when I go back, right? For if you're wondering why I'm doing all the missions other than just for the experience of the story after so long not playing a lot of this, it's also because I'm a completionist. I like being able to check all the boxes, have all the tick marks in place. I like being able to do that. I like that feeling of having everything complete. And in order to have everything complete on a new legacy, that is going to require me to do a little bit more work. Oh no. Oh well.
Korriban.
I managed to attract the attention of the Kaas wildlife, which I need to look more into the lore of the Kaas system, because you have to admit, Dromund Kaas seems kind of perfect for the empire that it houses. Like, almost hilariously so. And you gotta wonder, like, like, the thing is terraforming...
This baby was worth every credit!
What just happened? Who's yelling at me? Who just yelled at me? I don't remember that happening. Karwa, this baby was worth every credit. That's a new experience. Very well. Alright. I think there's a heroic in there, and I just ran in there just to make sure I had it, but... oh well. I also like discovering all of the places on the map if I can help it. Like I said, I'm a completionist. Part of the reason of doing this is so that I can sort of get the experience of doing the entire thing again. You know, I get to run all of this. I get to redo every single bit of the experience. I don't know. I think it's fun. There's so much of the boxes that I've picked off on other servers and other legacies that I just think it's a fun little new challenge. To get to do it right from the start again. But right now, I'm remembering how much of this game, of this particular area, is just, you know, killing everything in your way, which admittedly is a very Sith thing to do, so I can't say that they did not build things accordingly. I'm actually kind of looking forward to going back to the Dark Temple, too. That's such an interesting place. Really neat stuff, you know? I like the lore of the place. I like running around in there. I think I think it's just really interesting. Anyway, so this weekend I actually had quite the busy weekend, surprisingly enough. Like, really... I actually had a very busy weekend, which is sort of strange. Like, usually weekends are the time people have off, right? But, I had a lot to do this weekend, so, and a lot of other stuff going on. Had to, you know, had some, friends that wanted to talk, all of that good stuff. But it does mean that I was feeling a little tired today, a little burned out today. A little bit like I just really wanted to relax. So that is what we are doing. We're just gonna hang out, play some Star Wars, maybe see if there's any interesting story elements for me to ramble on about for like 20 minutes. I don't know if anyone's actually even saw that rant, which Actually, if they didn't, that would be kind of hilarious. Just me ranting to myself for 20 minutes about interesting story decisions. Which is admittedly completely in character for me, so I can't say... First, let's not get killed, hey? If I got killed by a freaking Grathlan Inquisitor, I think I'd be very annoyed. Grathlan's whole thing is just weird and interesting, though. Like, what's even up? Like, really? How does he even manage this? Everyone's also in a tizzy about Lord Grathan. Lord freaking Grathan doing this. And it's just like, he's just a Sith Lord. He's not actually even that powerful, if I remember correctly. So it's just like... And he's doing this in the literally in, like, the backyard of the Dark Council. And I'm pretty sure most of the Dark Council could absolutely just, you know, destroy him. So it's just like, what on earth? How is he getting away with this? Is it just that the council doesn't pay attention to these things? Like, that doesn't seem very smart of them, but I can absolutely believe it of some people, because I can absolutely believe it depending on which Dark Council member we're dealing with. Because some of them are a bit short-sighted, shall we say. Very focused on whatever they happen to be interested in. As we will encounter later in this storyline. I remember those broad plot beats well enough.
Authorization. System cannot identify. Please don't go. Please don't go. What's happening? Are you with Lord Grathan? Are you invading? System cannot identify.
I'm here on my own. Lord Grathan is an enemy.
Then who? System cannot stop. Reassigning priorities. Operating number 2188697. Please. Did the Duchess send you? Please help me.
Your commander sent me to free you and the others.
We failed her. Failed to defend ourselves. Grathan's people took us prisoner for experiments. The scientists cut open our heads, put us in droids. Identification model OHK-99. They program us for advanced intelligence. Enhanced combat tactics. Now my body's lying dead across the room. I can see it.
You're a slave now, as I was. Not so long ago.
Yes, that's accurate. Please undo it. I'm the last. The others have all been converted. They can't talk, can't disobey. But I know they can still think, feel. Please listen. You could disable us all. Send the shutdown command from our central command console. Please. You could put an end to this. Use the command console. I can't go with you. Motor and combat systems non-functional. Please, make it stop hurting.
I do feel bad for this guy, though. You see a lot of really screwed up things in the Empire. But that one, like, kind of horrifies me on a personal level. If only because I can absolutely... To some degree, I feel like I can absolutely imagine, you know, someone, like, you know, taking your conscience and putting it in something else that it can control. It's like... That's incredibly screwed up. Incredibly screwed up. And... I don't blame them for preferring death over trying to live as that. I think I have done it before. before, though, where I did send them back. Mostly because, like, I don't know, well, I was running a pure dark side playthrough there. This one we're doing just kind of, we're doing whatever we feel like. But again, this is something that I remember that I've spoken about extensively with people. And I think I've even ranted about it on stream, but you know what? We're gonna do it again, because I'm the one driving this ship, and all of you poor suckers are just along for the ride. But one of the things I do enjoy a lot about playing Empire side characters is the very simple fact that you actually get some moral nuance. You know, this is something where you can see both sides. You can see the idea that these poor suckers really would rather die than you know, be forced to live as this strange shell, you know, human brain in a droid body, and I don't even really understand how that works, but either way, it's something that's incredibly screwed up, and I don't really blame them if they do not want, if they don't want to try and suffer through that. But you can also look at it from the perspective of you as a person, where depending on what kind of Sith you're playing, or even not Sith, depending on what kind of bounty hunter or Imperial agent you're playing too, because those guys are also you know, an option for that mission. I mean, you could be wondering whether you, even if this one person is asking you, you can still sit there and wonder and ask if you really have the right as this one person, as if you have the right to deliver this, you know, coup de grace to everyone else.
Please, tell me Lord Zash sent you. Please, I can't stand it here any longer. I don't want to die.
Are you Grathan's cyborg expert in chains?
Yes, I am, and I got just what you need, just what Lord Zash ordered. My finest work yet, though I don't quite see what the use of it is.
If you hope to trick me into revealing something, your hopes are poorly placed indeed.
No, I don't want to know any more than is good for me. I'm just warning you. Lord Zash commissioned this weapon against cyborgs. The thing is, most cyborgs are only 10% machine. You need someone at least 50% machine for the neutralizer to do any real damage.
Oh, my mark's 50% machine, at least.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. If you want it, take it. It's only a prototype, but I guess it'll work if there's one droid you really want to bash. It's in the lab building, can't be missed. But Grantham wouldn't let me have the power cells I need to power it. You'll need to steal those off his droids.
I'm supposed to keep you quiet. And I think you know what that means.
No, please. Zash said she'd free me. I have a wife and children and an astromech droid. I have to live.
Ustaiknians an parana, rahitis ni aino.
Please, look, I'm an inventor, right? A damn good inventor. You let me live, I'll invent you something, whatever you want.
I want to be able to kill Jedi by the hundreds.
I know just the thing. I'll get started on it right away, okay? I'll send it to you, yes? And as for your plans, no one will hear a word about it from me. Not one word. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't give me cause to rethink this.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't know what kind of playthrough this is going to be. Like, I've kind of just been going off of whims for this one. Like, you know, oh, what kind, do I want to kill you? Do I want to free you? It's just sort of been entirely on what my mood is like. And you know what? I think, given that I'm playing a Sith, that is an entirely fair way for me to play this. But,
Korriban.
anyway, back to the moral dilemma of Grathan's droids. Or the people he turned into droids, I guess. Like, the thing there is it's just, like, you could argue, you can say that you absolutely understand why these people don't want to stay alive, but I feel like you can sort of also understand, either from the perspective of what I think the actual textual thing is, which is basically just support the Empire, you know, the support the Empire, what's best for the Empire kind of through line. But, or you can also even look at it from the perspective of, well, you know, even if one person is asking me to kill them, does that give them the right to determine this for the rest of the group? Does it give me the right to determine for the rest of the group? You know, who's to say for each individual when the fate worse than death is actually a fate worse than death? But in this case, I went with the, yeah, everyone is suffering a fate worse than death, and I'm not going to be party to that. But I can still see both sides. But anyway, that's why I like the moral dilemmas that they present on the dark side a lot more than I like the ones that they present on the light side. And it's for fairly simple reasons, honestly. It's simply down to, I think they're more interesting. I think that they allow for more character nuance and allow you to think your characters through more. I was playing a light sider with some friends last night, with a group last night. And the problem with sometimes the light side and dark side dilemmas for the Republic side of things is that they are just so obviously good versus kind of pointless evil. Kind of pointless amounts of evil. And I just watched somebody hover into the air. That's fun. No idea what just happened there. But anyway, the issue that I have is, like, we were playing some troopers and smugglers together, right? Had a little group going. It was all great. We're playing along. We're having fun. And the option that came up was, like, for one of the side quests was basically either give, you know, the poor starving refugees medicine, or get so upset and offended at them asking you to do the right thing that you literally threaten to kill a child. And it's just like, and I kind of laughed at that because none of us were exactly playing the purest, pure-hearted characters. But to a man, not one of us, well, two of us were smugglers and one of us was a trooper. So the smugglers by themselves were definitely kind of doing their own thing, and the trooper in question was not the most paragon trooper. That's just the way that we run. We run morally ambiguous. It's our thing. But again, and then the thing that happened there was just, it was so, like, even there, even though we had, like, smugglers who were pretty much only doing what they were doing for the credits, you know, because they were getting paid, and a kind of sketchy trooper, none of us were willing to threaten the child. And I kind of laughed and commented on that, you know, one of those, well, I'm glad to see all of us have at least, you know, some basic standards. And they kind of startled at me, and then we all agreed and had a little bit of a chuckle about the interesting ways quote unquote moral dilemmas are presented in the Republic. Which is to say, they're kind of not, because the evil option usually isn't just so cartoonishly evil, it's actually depressing, but it's also, sometimes it's even self-defeating. I mean, you know, what good does it do me to threaten this child over this medicine? It really doesn't. It doesn't matter. And now, oh, hey, welcome. I see somebody's hopped in to the stream, viewers. Welcome. Lurk if you wish, chat if you wish. Just happy to have you come hang out. Oh no, it's doing the soulless black eyes glitch. I don't like that glitch. Also, that wasn't very smart of me. My character, I mean. That was not at all smart of me to just, grab a super priceless relic without any idea what, like, oh, you know, that it might be booby-trapped or alarmed or something? Yeesh. Like, I thought I was supposed to be the smart class, but whatever. Not that big of a deal, I guess, all told. Just one of those things that's like that. Well, that was depressing. Let's see. Oh, that's the way out. Whoops. Anyway. Welcome, we're hanging out, we're chatting, currently, we're doing some analysis of, storytelling in in Star Wars The Old Republic, and how much sense it makes one way or the other, whether we really like, you know, well, in this case, it was more of a, we're doing some analysis to see if how much some of this made sense, basically. And, you know, the evil, I bring this up a lot, but the evil cartoon options sometimes really get me. They sometimes really get me. And I was complaining about that because, I like some ability to have moral nuance in my playthroughs at times. It's a small thing, but it's a thing. You know, it may not be that big of a deal, but moral nuance is nice. Oh. Either I've got one lurker or it's just me. I'm still not entirely sure how to interpret that one user broadcaster thing. I think it means just me, but if not, hello my lurker. I'm glad you're here. I've seen one streamer whose stream title was come lurk in the chat all day every day, and that is kind of how I feel, even though I didn't want to steal their title. Anyhow. Let's just hang out. Oh, what do I all have to do yet? Oh, I have to kill the weapons researchers. Alright, we can do that. I am determined to be the most massively over-leveled person on this world, I think. If only because I think it might be kind of funny. And also because, well, that's what happens when you do all of the missions. But it's fun. It's fun. it's the research consoles I have to destroy yet. Okay. Okay. Well, I needed to kill you to get to this guy to get to the research console anyway, so it all works out. Now, where is one more research console? I swear I probably ran by one and just missed it. That seems like something I would do. And these boots are not anywhere near as good as the boots that I already have on, so we will not be changing. Okay, this is again something I love to think about stuff like the meta aspects of like how the meta aspects of gameplay like coincide with the story with the story levels like of gameplay of the game. And in this case, something that really is cracking me up a little bit is the fact that, technically speaking, I think I just stole that guy's boots. And I was doing the equivalent of trying them on to see if they were better than my current boots before deciding that actually they weren't. And that amuses me, I'm not gonna lie. But that's something I know other people have talked about, but I still think it's great. I still think it's really funny. Just to be like, hey, you know what? Alright. And we are done at Grafton's Estate. Fantastic. I'm not the biggest fan of Grafton's Estate, in case you couldn't tell. It's just not my cup of tea. Well, let's go visit the Revenites. Because they need their mask. I think I'll give it to Ladra this time. She gave me a more compelling argument. And again, I really am playing this.
You've returned. You must have talked to Tarun by now. Did you make it out to the estate? Did you? Did you see the mask? Wasn't it amazing?
I have the mask right here.
Oh, you have it. I never thought I'd see it again. Free from Grathan's prison at last. Free from the hands of heretics. It's a wonderful day.
My trial is complete. The mask is yours now.
I wish I'd been there, cutting Grathan's apprentices to pieces again and again. But it was your trial, your privilege. I have a gift for you, to celebrate your success and the completion of the rite. I can't finish your initiation, only the Master can do that. But I can recognize achievement. You've done so very well. The mask will guide us forevermore.
Alright. What do you have to say to me?
More initiates. The compound's getting less secure all the time. Still, I suppose the Master knows what he's doing. And if you can follow the ways of Revan, we'll judge your worth.
What ways are you talking about?
Revan didn't work alone. Revan had allies, all walks of life. We're no different. You want to join us? You need to face the men and women who got here first and who've proved that they're loyal to the Master.
What exactly does this entail?
You need to show those in the Master's inner circle that you understand Revan's teachings. They'll ask questions. You'll answer. If they're not satisfied, they'll abandon the test of wisdom and begin your test of strength. Revan didn't suffer the weak.
I'd expect nothing less. I'll do what's needed.
I'm glad to hear that. Your pilgrimage starts in the jungle. You'll find your first guide there. He'll determine whether you're worth sending on to the rest. Be ready for anything, Initiate. The jungle's dangerous, and so are the true Revenites.
Sometimes you gotta admit, it's fun being a main character, don't you think? Main character syndrome. I don't know. It's fun. It's amusing to think about as well. You know, I always sell stims because I never use them. I've never been able to figure out the point of them. I get that they're supposed to be like good for you, better for you, like improve certain stats, but I don't really... I've never had a thing where I was in my gameplay, and what I was really having I was really having trouble with something, and what I, sat and thought to myself was, you know what I need? What I need is a stim. I need to boost whatever. It's just never come up. It's just not a thing for me. And maybe that's my own short-sightedness, but it's just like it's never been necessary. I need to get the archaeology leveled up too, because I want to be able to make myself some lightsaber crystals.
So, you have come. You who would join the Order of Revan. I am Dromund Kaas, Lord of Beasts. I am Revanite, and I am Sith. What do you say to me?
What do you expect me to say? I'm very impressed.
I do not need your praise, Initiate. For decades I have served the Master. He found me when I was a lava and saw that I was strong in the Force. Against the Empire's traditions he trained me. This is the way of Revan, to teach all species the path to power.
Your meaning is clear.
Good. Now you will answer a question. And you will answer well, or face the claws of my pets. Why do you think Revan trained aliens in the ways of the Sith? Why did Revan offer power to all Seekers?
Revan knew that servants are more useful when they're powerful.
You answer well. You answer wisely. You speak like a true Revanite. You may proceed on your pilgrimage and seek worth in the eyes of another.
The sooner we get this done, the better.
Seek the mercenary called Setafar as she teaches her soldiers. Then shall your trial continue.
Alright, well... Let's see... 41 seconds? Yeah, I can probably make it there faster than I can quick travel it. We'll see. Maybe if I go this way. Dromund Kaas' layout is actually fairly open and understandable compared to some places. I'm sure you've all seen the Corellia memes, right? Lord knows I have, and Lord knows it's a pain in the butt. In my opinion. But... well, actually, we're here anyway, so let's talk to this captain. Poor lady. I do feel for her. I like her. It's too bad. It's too bad how things had to go, but I don't think, if I remember correctly, she's actually more saddened if you give her
I heard there was action in Grathan's place. Not many people make it in and out like that. But I'm not seeing my men. Tell me what you found in there.
Grathan was experimenting on them. Converting them into machines.
Machines? Right. I'd heard rumors about Grathan's repulsive methods, and I have a strong stomach, but I feel a little sick right now. I was hoping they'd be okay. What an idiot I am.
They didn't suffer. I made sure of that. It was the least I could do.
Is that right? Well, I actually appreciate that. Guess it had to be done. You got the information I wanted, so you earned your pay. Take it. Those kids won't miss a few credits. Now I've got to send word to their families and return their belongings, then it'll be time to recruit some fresh faces.
All part of the job, Captain. I'm sure you'll get it done.
What was that hand gesture?
I'll see you around.
Like, I move my hands a lot when I talk, I do. But what was that? Like, what did they just animate my character to do? You'll get the job done? Good lord, that looked a little bit ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. Like, what on earth was I supposed to be, like, just comforting? Waving my hands aimlessly? I mean, I get it. not everybody's perfect, but like, and Lord knows that the people animating this had plenty of work they had to do, and it was not easy. But good lord, what was that weird hand movement about? Like, seriously. Oh, incidentally, welcome lurker. I see someone has popped into chat, or at least popped into the stream. I welcome you in chat if you want to lurk and hang out. I'm just sort of rambling to myself and having fun with these storylines that I haven't played in a while.
Some of the men head into the city. They've earned a break from training.
Yes, Commander.
It's good to see you alive. Not everyone makes it past Morin. Raymond contacted me from the base. Said you wanted to join our society. Is it true?
Should we be discussing this in public?
My people won't talk, and I've swept the area for bugs. We'll discuss it now. Centuries ago, we lost the...
Nope, I hit the spacebar by accident. That's my bad, guys. Sorry. I usually spacebar through these, but I've been trying not to do that.
I see what you're saying.
I serve the Order to ensure Revan's name isn't forgotten. Revan was a warrior, a leader, and deserves to be remembered. Since you're not bound by honor, how do I know you won't sully the Dark Lord's memory? What can you do for the Order in Revan's name?
I can unlock the secrets of Revan's power.
Is that so? Fine. You want to say garbage like that? You can prove you're worth my time. I sent out a squad of clansmen to hunt the local wildlife. Their camp's nearby. Defeat them, or get yourself killed. And don't worry. Talking here will make sure they know you're coming.
Yes, Commander.
So here's something that, I don't know. I know that there's a correct answer for each of these ones, but I usually end up role-playing anyway, and I end up giving myself this kind of trouble, but I don't know. I like being able... I try to role-play. Like, I try not to just do whatever. It doesn't always work, but, I at least try. I at least try. I mean, characters, they tend to grow and develop and change and do different things no matter what, but it's fine, you know. I mean, you gotta let them do that. Like, characters seem to have a mind of their own, and anyone who's ever written anything can attest to that. But at the same time, I don't know, I think it's nice to try and... I think it's at least nice to try and, like, stick to whatever, like, bit of character they've started developing for you. Even if you don't always know what that is yet. But even when I sometimes don't know, I still try, because I think it's ultimately... Personally, I ultimately find it more fun when I roleplay true to a character, even when it doesn't make things the easiest, than for me to just say whatever makes someone the happiest. I mean, and sometimes that gets me in trouble with my companions for sure, but it's like, that was one nice thing about the way they changed around the companion mechanics. Because before, it was kind of a pain, to put it mildly, actually. Could be kind of a pain to like, actually roleplay and not just tell your companions what they liked to hear. Because if you didn't tell your companions what they liked to hear, it was so much harder to
Revan earned the respect of my grandfathers and grandmothers by defeating them in battle. Now you've earned mine. You're not Revan. Not yet, at least. But you're something. You've got my approval to join the Order.
It's an honor.
You'll need to talk to one more person before you head back to the compound. Find Major Pathel. He oversees security on the wall.
I'll be there in but a moment.
Glory to Mandalore, and glory to our master.
Okay then. Security on the wall, huh? This one, I'm gonna be lazy and QT it. It's done charging. I can just take a taxi from the next one, I think. It'll be fine. Let's see. I threw up a post on Tumblr because that's where I have some that's where I have a couple followers. Not a lot, but I posted both on Tumblr and Twitter that I was streaming today just to see if what would happen. Oh, it looks like Tumblr's got some spam blogs popping up again that are following me. Well, we'll deal with that later because Lord knows that there's enough stupidity and ridiculousness going on already without me dealing with people without dealing with bots. I am not a fan of bots.
Come on over. There's nothing to trouble us here, and we can speak freely. I'm Major Pathel, at your service. It's always wonderful to meet new initiates. The Order of Revan needs all the dedicated young people it can get.
You are so
You're awfully cheerful, aren't you?
A necessary precondition of living on the wall, I think. To keep healthy out here, one needs spirit. I don't know how your other meetings went, but I like to conduct these interviews informally. No point making your life difficult, eh? Quite a few initiates, young officers, acolytes, and the like, think our secret society will help them become morphs or Dark Lords. You're not like that, I presume?
Nah.
The Order of Revan intrigues me, but I don't need it to get what I want.
You're ambitious. That's a fine trait. Don't let it get the better of you, though. Not every initiate realizes that advancement in the Revanites does not guarantee advancement in the Empire, nor how dangerous being a Revanite really is.
Trust me, buddy,
The
I'm
Dark
probably
Council
more
seeks
dangerous.
to root us out. So, how do we respond? How do we answer the Empire's accusations of heresy?
We need to show our enemies the truth.
And we will, wherever we can. Not to say we shouldn't defend ourselves, but we won't become traitors to the Empire either. That's all I needed to make my judgment. I'm going to send a message to the compound. Raymond will be waiting for you.
Does this mean my trial's done?
Well, that's not for me to say, but I have a good feeling about you. Journey safely, and be proud to be a part of the Order of Revan.
Woofda. That dude is a high energy dude, especially for an Imperial officer. Wow. Alright. I think I'll just take a speeder over there. I'm not feeling like running around, and I actually have enough credits now that I don't feel too bad about using the speeders. Let's go to the compound. You know, it's funny when you think about it, right? I know that they put in a speeder because it's a convenience factor, but like think about that infrastructure-wise. We are a secret society that has so many people traveling to us that we need us to have a stop on our taxi droid service. I know it's gameplay convenience. I know it's just gameplay convenience, but you've got to admit that's pretty funny to think about. Also, welcome to the person who just popped in. I can see you there. Lurk or chat as the mood strikes. I'm always happy to see you.
So you finished the pilgrimage. Not bad. I don't know what happened out there. It's none of my business. But the Inner Circle approves of your initiation.
Okay.
How often do initiates fail?
Honestly, if you can survive the pilgrimage, you're probably a worthy initiate. But a lot of initiates don't survive at all. You did good in this trial. Now you'll have to find someone else to show you the next stage of the journey.
Excellent. My initiation will be over soon.
Good luck. Every step brings you closer to the Master.
Fun fact about me. When I first played through this Revanite recruitment mission, if you will, I had no idea about Knights of the Old Republic. Never heard of it, never played it, no idea who Revan was. I honestly thought that this was just a random, side quest artifact that they made someone up for.
Well, you really made it, didn't you? I've been hearing a lot about your progress, hearing about your trials. Your initiation has not been an easy one, but you've met the challenge and showed you can walk Revan's path. Now you may undergo the final rite.
Is this where I speak to the Master?
Yes, you've earned your audience. The Master will complete your lessons, and you'll be welcomed as a full member of the Order of Revan. This is a great privilege. The Master reveals himself to no one outside the Order.
At last, the respect I deserve.
You may go to the Master in his chamber. He will be waiting for you. Listen to him, obey him. Through the Master, you will know the path of Revan.
You know what? I'm gonna poke in my stream settings real quick for a sec. I might be able to at least double check to make sure that when I talk, I'm not sounding totally awful. Let's see, settings. No, that's not it. There we go. Let's see what happens if I do that. No, that's not it. Testing, testing. I can very vaguely hear me. Is this it? No? Well, we might just have to leave the monitoring off for now and see how it goes. Anyway. Alright. Okay, so chat says I've got 2 viewers in stream. Welcome. Hope you're having fun hanging out today. And we will maybe... Let's see how that goes. Let's see, I'm gonna get somebody popping into my stream specifically just to yell at me because now my balance is gonna be off again. I honestly don't know what to say about my audio balance, if I'm fully honest. I'm trying my best. It's hard when I don't got people to tell me what's up. So, you know, yell at me if things are truly awful, is all I can say.
Died and been reborn, stand before me now. You who have reclaimed the ancient past, stand before me now. You who have demonstrated power and wisdom to my followers, look upon the Master of the Order of Revan.
As you say.
This is the end of your initiation and the beginning of your true journey. You will walk the path of Revan forevermore. The enemies of the Order will force you to move in shadows. But we shall keep your secrets safe, as you shall keep ours.
The time for subterfuge is over. Know me for who I am.
I thought the Master was a man.
The ruse serves its purpose. Besides, it felt appropriate. Revan's own gender is unclear in many of our records. I apologize for the deception, and for not meeting you sooner. But you must know how badly the Dark Council wants me dead. The Order of Revan threatens everything the Dark Council prizes.
Why did you found the Order in the first place?
I stumbled upon the mysteries of Revan on Korriban when I became Sith. That started me down a terrible path. Revan came to Dromund Kaas after being reborn. Some believe Revan died at the hands of our Emperor. I believe otherwise. I believe Revan overthrew the Emperor and has sat secretly on the throne for 3 centuries. Aside from our Order, only the Dark Council knows the truth.
You know, in some ways, that would almost be a more interesting storyline than the Valkorian stuff. Can you imagine that? Revan the Secret Emperor? Man, somebody write that fanfic. Please.
I don't like where this is leading.
I have heard whispers in the Citadel. For decades, the Emperor has been in seclusion. The Dark Council no longer speaks with him. The only explanation is this. The Dark Council betrayed their leader and locked Emperor Revan away, seizing power for themselves. They seek to silence us because we know.
They want to silence you because they think you're heretics.
They do. But listing their many reasons for destroying us is pointless. I would ask for your help. My agents tell me that you met with a Sith named Sandor, a man who seeks to destroy the Revanites. End his threat. Go to Sandor and tell him that you met the Revanite leader. Tell him that the leader is his own master, Darth Charnas.
Why would he believe me?
I obtained this Sith amulet from Charnas. Give it to Sandor. He'll believe you stole it from his master while among the Revanites. they will turn against each other. When this is done, though, when you've spoken to Sandor, you cannot return here.
But I thought I was part of the Order.
Sandor must never suspect your true allegiance. You must walk the path of Revan on your own. The path to power. The path neither Jedi nor Sith. May the Force be with you. May it make you strong.
You know, that gives me... Okay, that little bit of phrasing there, in some ways, kind of gives me strong, how shall we say? That kind of gives me a strong, Voldemort in the Sorcerer's Stone.
Please select an available travel route.
Yes, I say Sorcerer's Stone. I'm American. Sorry. That's the title that I saw. And I like the alliteration, so it stuck. In, like, Voldemort and Sorcerer's Stone, you know, there is no good or evil, there's only power, and those too weak to seek it. This is basically just a Star Warsified version of that. You know, you will seek true power, neither Jedi nor Sith, which is, you know, as many people seem to think, good or evil. Oh man. Oh wow. Revan's Order got a bunch of new initiates today.
You return from having your ears filled with lies by the Revanites. I do not envy you the experience. Tell me now, did you find what we need? Did you see the face of the leader?
It was a man. I couldn't learn his name, but he wore this amulet.
Oh, perhaps that will be enough. A symbol of rank or affiliation or... This. I know this amulet. How did you obtain it?
I obtained it at great personal risk. I hope it was worth it.
This is the amulet of my master, Darth Jarnus, taken from the Order of Revan. Speak to no one of this. I will deal with my master myself.
How do you propose to do that?
It would harm you to know. What happens next must be swift and silent. Take your payment for my own keepings. It is all I can offer you without alerting Darth Jarnus. Leave now. We cannot be seen together any longer, and I have much to do.
Alright.
I wish you well.
Hope it goes well.
You've done well. Now go, and beware of Jarnus.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I could have turned on them. But the Revanites. But I don't know. I think they're interesting. I like them a little bit. You know, I think I'll let them continue on, or at least this character wants to let them continue on because she thinks that they're fun and interesting and different. Now let's go talk to Zash. I like Zash. I do. She's nice, you know? I mean, you gotta admit that it was nice to have such a friendly and positive master for this part of the storyline. Ugh, they need to insulate their cups better. That coffee got cold fast. Fortunately, there's enough sugar in it, sugar and cream in it to give, most people a heart attack, so it still tastes good even when it's cold. I could have just ordered it straight up iced, I suppose, but I was feeling like a hot drink today. As it is, I might have some tea later. I bought some new tea today. Yes, I drink coffee and tea. I don't faff about with those people that say, oh, you know, you can only have one, you can only like one. You can only do either tea or coffee, and it's the great debate. Nah, man, I drink both. You know what? Both is good. And sometimes you're in the mood for coffee, or you really just need more of a pick-me-up than most teas offer. Because, well, most tea, unless it's brewed very strongly and interestingly, you're not going to get...
I sense you will go far.
You're not going to get enough of a caffeine rush from that. You're just not. Let's see, what is this? Consuming darkness. Ah, it's a force restoration thing. Okay. I gotcha. Here's my interrupt. Here's my stun breaker. Okay. My quick bar is almost constantly in flux, just as I try to like figure out what's the most efficient layout. I'm always shifting stuff around.
Not a moment too soon, apprentice. Tell me we were successful. Tell me you have the tech we need to destroy Scotia.
I have the prototype.
Fantastic. Magnificent. Perfect. Then the time to do the deed is now. Scotia is in his chambers as we speak. Be ready. Even with the power you have over him, he will be a frightful sight. Set your nerves of cortosis. Turn your fear into hatred. Remember, Scotia stands between us and glory.
Let's get to the killing.
Good. Now listen closely. This is how you will kill Scotia. The relic you found under the Colossus is the key to Scotia's power over his Trandoshan bodyguards. Go to Scotia's chambers and show them the relic. The Trandoshans should stand down, or attack him or something. The confusion should be enough. This is the first step.
Then I use the anti-cyborg prototype to disable him, right?
Exactly. With the bodyguards gone, you can get close enough to Scotia to use the prototype you stole from Grathans. But be mindful. Scotia may be more machine than man, but he's no weakling in the Force. Killing him will still be a challenge.
It wouldn't be fun if it wasn't.
Oh, I wish I could be there to see the contortions on Scotia's malformed face when you destroy him. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm due to make an appearance at a party in the Nexus Room Cantina. Meet me there when you're done.
Alright. So... Alright, I'm going to soapbox here for a second, but, well, no one's yelling at me to not do it, so you guys are gonna come along for this ride. More machine than man, spoken in the sense that, as if to say this is such a bad thing, is kind of something that bothers me, because a lot of times what you see in settings like Star Wars, in these futuristic settings that do have like these advanced cybernetics, is these advanced cybernetics are usually replacements for limbs, organs, or body parts that were lost some other way. You know, I got my hand, or well, we see it right from Anakin and Luke. They lost their arm/hand, forearm usually, and they had to get a replacement. So saying someone is more machine than man as if it's a bad thing sort of leaves a bad taste in my mouth, because, well, I can think of many people in the real world who are amputees, either because they were born that way or, suffered something tragic and became that way, who probably would be very, very, very happy to get the kind of cybernetics that Star Wars offers, whether it's as a necessity or even just for the people who want the enhancement because it will help them do their job. So it's just like, to say more machine than man as if it's the most terrible thing in the world, really, genuinely, I don't like it. Because it just, well, it's ableist is what it is. That's the word. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the gosh darned word. But it's very ableist rhetoric. It's saying that you're lesser for taking this option.
I see. Nothing yet. What makes this slave so bold as to enter my chambers? Tell me, slave, are you insane, or do you have a death wish?
If you think this is bad, you should meet my other personality.
Oh, great. More, and now we're making, neurodivergence jokes.
Kill her.
I believe this belongs to you.
Clever. Zash must have stayed up many a night to think of that one. I suppose you'll be sending my bodyguards away now, or maybe you'll order them to kill me.
You're free to leave any time.
And you die. I tried to save your lives, for once. Although, I love that they're like... I love the fact that he's like,
have
oh...
done that. The bodyguards, they're nothing. Show. But you subverted my authority, took my slaves from me, and that makes me angry. And killing you will be over too soon. No. I think you're going to have to suffer first.
I mean, he's like clever. Zash must have taken such a long time to think of that one. But it's like, do you really think that? Like, it seems fairly straightforward to me. You know, you are holding a blackmail, basically, against these people that are supposed to be your bodyguards, basically. I mean, absolutely, the first place my brain would go would be, okay, let's get rid of the people who are blackmailing, if only to get them out of my way. Even if I agreed with Zash right away that killing him, that having the bodyguards kill him couldn't have worked.
What is this? Did you... Zash! Zash! You've killed me!
Don't blame Zash. This is all me.
Mindless. You don't know what Zash can do. Think of how many years she must have spent plotting my death. She will kill you, just like she's killed me.
If that day comes, I'll be ready for her.
But yeah, it's just like, he's like, oh, she must have spent so many nights thinking of that one. It's like, no. It's a fairly logical through step. Honestly, it's simple when you think about it. You are blackmailing people to keep you safe. Get rid of the blackmail, they no longer care to keep you safe. This is not hard. This is it's not some, grand scheme. It's fairly basic logic. But whatever. I'm not the one that has to do that, I guess. So. Anyway.
Destination? Enjoy your stay.
That one I don't agree with. That's just... I mean, I get it. They're trying to make beginning storylines that are interesting and understandable, and also, aren't too hard for you as a beginner player to understand and play, while at the same time also trying to make sure that it sounds grand and great and fancy, even when it's pretty basic.
Come back anytime.
Anyway. Me and my pet peeves, right? Me and my pet peeves. I mean, really, Air. What you thinking? Why are you doing that? Oh, I forgot about this one. Well, you know what? Let's disarm some bombs. That'll be our pro bono act for the day. Although, is it really pro bono if I don't want to be caught up in an explosion too? Oh, apparently there's a lot of missions around here that I have just forgotten about. Wow. I'm kind of disappointed. Oh, introduction to Starfighter. You know what? I'll accept it to get it off my map, and then we'll just untrack it. I don't really play Starfighter because, frankly, Starfighter seems to me like something that's mostly just an endgame content type thing. And, usually by the time I get to endgame, there's enough I'm either tired and don't want to play for a while, or I have enough other stuff going on, like, one time I found a group that really liked to do operations, so I ran with them for a while. Things like that.
7 brutal, bloody murders, 7! And the killer is allowed to walk free? Decent, law-abiding citizens, loyal servants of the Emperor are being slaughtered. And what do our security forces do? Nothing. I've seen the killer myself, but the authorities say I don't have enough proof. I demand justice.
That's big talk for a worm like you.
I must be heard. I'm the only one who knows the truth. Several days ago, I spotted a bounty hunter following people seemingly at random, but pointing a strange device at them. The descriptions of the murder victims exactly match the people the hunter was following. He's behind these brutal killings. I know it.
Ooh.
He cannot be allowed to continue.
Well, what a relief. I've been trying to get someone, anyone, to listen to me for days. I followed the killer this morning. Saw him skulking into the Mandalorian enclave. Someone called him by name, Rennigan. This bounty hunter must learn the Empire doesn't tolerate gutter scum like him killing its citizens. He needs to be punished.
Wow. Man, my knuckles just popped like firecrackers. That's, well, to be expected, I guess. I certainly ask them to do enough, and it's a bit chilly in here today, so that generally makes my joints feel a little bit stiffer. Listen to me talking like I'm 80. I'm not nowhere near, but you wouldn't necessarily believe it if you wouldn't necessarily believe it if you met me at first, because if nothing else, oh, I forgot about that. Alright. Because if nothing else, I have beat up my body enough that it's actually kind of a problem. Like, seriously, my ankles hate me when it's about to rain. It's not fun. It's actually an issue, and that's, like, just depressing, don't you think? Like, can you imagine that? Like, where I've literally managed to beat myself up enough that as a 24-year-old, my ankles hate me. I mean, I was kind of hard on them, especially when I was younger. I was fairly active and clumsy, and let me tell you, that is a dangerous combination. Very dangerous combination. Because, you know, you're an active kid, you're running around, you're having fun. It's all great. And except you're also a klutz who can't keep track of where all your limbs are at once. And I wish I was exaggerating on that one, but I've sliced enough fingers and fallen enough that I can safely say that it is in fact the truth when I say that. And yeah, it's just as depressing as it sounds, but you know, I mean, I try not to let it get me down too much, or really even to let it stop me too much, because ultimately, I still like living my life. It just means that exactly, you know, like a 60-year-old fisherman, I've got joints that tell me when it's gonna rain. And I'm 24. So yeah, if I sound like an old fogey sometimes, it's because well, I am one in spirit anyway. Which, well, you know, I don't know. I like being an old soul. I like having that, but well, it's all about balance, right? You gotta be young and enjoy things, but you also gotta sometimes acknowledge the reality of things, and sometimes the reality of things is you weren't smart as a kid. Well, who's smart as a kid, really? Wise as a kid, maybe? Because kids can certainly have very, very high intelligence quotients, you know, IQs. Well, and honestly, the IQ rant is a rant for another day, but don't, you know, just because, but that number really, really isn't everything. And I say that as somebody who graduated college summa cum laude before you accuse me of just being somebody who didn't know how to handle not being on top of that curve. But anyway, we will perhaps I should do this one rant at a time, yeah? We'll do this one rant at a time. But oh shoot, where was I on that rant? Where was I on that rant? Ah, yes. No, like, I mean, you generally don't have wise kids because to be wise, I think really does require a lot of life experience, and no kid is gonna have that.
Enjoy your
Not
stay.
really, anyway. Not in any way that's like super meaningful, which sometimes means that you're a kid and you beat yourself up. You know, you run around and you fall and you skin your knees, and in my case, you sprain ankles, break fingers. I mean, I've never broken a major bone. Never broken a major bone. But I've screwed up my joints enough, I think, to make up for that one. Sip of coffee so that I don't totally mess my throat up.
I've got a shuttle to catch. You mind getting out of my way?
You've been a bad boy, Rennigan. Murdering innocent citizens.
No, hold on. I never killed anybody who didn't have it coming. You've been listening to Wrightson. Great. Listen, I didn't murder anybody. I was just hired to tag some random citizens, that's all.
You didn't ask why you were hired to tag random people.
I got instructions, not explanations. Seemed harmless at the time. I had no idea my clients would kill those people. I was hired by a group of Sith to organize games for them. Didn't realize what that meant until bodies started piling up. When I confronted them, they laughed. Said Sith have a birthright to hunt lowlives. It's like a sport to them.
So, what now?
I'm not taking the blame for something I didn't do. I'm in over my head and too many people are watching me now. So I can't even leave. I need help, and I'm willing to pay for it. You interested?
Tell me what I can do for you.
I just want this problem to go away. And I only see two ways for that to happen. Either get rid of the loudmouth pointing fingers at me, or end that sick game the Sith are playing.
I think your clients need to find a new hobby.
Works for me. I'll have a plan that'll get them so good, no one will have to worry about fallout. Take this hunter tag. Use it on Sith acolytes all around the city. The acolytes will become my clients' new targets. Don't worry. I'll make sure they survive. Come back when you're done, and I'll pay you.
Time to get some Sith in trouble. Oh, wow. I am completely neutral, huh? Well, I don't think I'll pick enough light side. I don't think I need to commit and make this a full light-sided playthrough. That's just... We don't need to do that. I'll keep this a dark side playthrough. I'll learn enough dark side points that it won't be a problem. But yeah, no, I've screwed up my joints enough. My ankles and wrists especially. Lots of sprains, jams, and breaks when I was younger. It was a problem. I got excused from a lot of gym class. Although my favorite was the time when I fell, and this was in high school. So keep in mind that by the time that I was in high school, I'd already sprained both ankles, easily countable on like both hands, right? I had done it a lot. I knew exactly how it felt. But my gym teacher didn't want to believe me. So one day I fell in, it was gym class. I think we were playing tag touch football. You know, the kind where you have like the streamers on the hips, and instead of tackling, you grab the streamers. And that's how you like stop play basically. Stupid game, but whatever. It's, you know, the game wasn't the problem. Getting bumped into and falling all over myself was the problem. So I go down hard. I definitely sprained my ankle. I physically feel the pop, and it hurts like heck.
Well, when I'd heard she'd taken up with a Mandalorian, I was scandalized. Just scandalized.
A Mandalorian? Does nobody value Sith blood these days?
I know. Don't you think so, Zash?
I places Amin's Whiteheis fools. Go and dida seek from Tauhans.
I'm sorry. Will you excuse me? I need to have a quick chat with my apprentice.
If you must. Now, as I was saying.
Thank the Emperor you've arrived. It doesn't matter how much one drinks. These parties are just dull.
I bet you they can still hear her. We're so close.
Cheer me up.
I have dismantled the machine.
He's dead then? Excellent. You have performed magnificently, apprentice. None of this would have been possible without you.
Lord Zash.
Darthanaton, I'm honored.
Don't let me interrupt you.
Don't go anywhere just yet, apprentice. This call won't take long, and I have some further instructions for you. As I said, my lord, I'm honored, but why call me?
You have nerve, Zash. Nerve. But I thought you were smarter.
With all respect, Darthanaton, I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't play ignorant with me, Zash. Scotia's dead, and you killed him.
Scotia? Dead? That's the first I've heard of it. When did this happen?
Just now, Zash, and you know it. What did you expect to gain? His position? His title? You know it doesn't work that way. Where's your discretion?
Discretion? I've been at this party for ages. I may have had a little much to drink, but I'm fairly certain I haven't murdered anyone. Though I have always fancied Scotia's chambers. So much more shelf space.
Zash, I don't want to have this conversation by hollow. Report to my chambers immediately.
Yes, Darthanaton. It'll be my pleasure.
Looks like you have a meeting to get to.
Give me time to talk to Thanaton, and then meet me in Darth Scotia's chambers. And don't worry, you've played your part, now it's time for me to play mine. We did it, apprentice.
Anyway, so, now that we're done, with the very boring party, I wonder, will these people say, do these people say anything?
If it were up to me, we'd expel all aliens and non-Imperials, filthy Mandalorians especially.
Ooh.
The things that happen on Dromund Kaas these days. It's enough to wake the Emperor.
Also, apparently chat is talking about weight loss, of all things. Well, not my chat specifically, Gen chat on Dromund Kaas. So I usually keep Gen chat off, but sometimes it's worth it to tune in just to see what's going on. In this case, apparently, ketogenic diets are the new thing to chat about. But, I'm not a dietitian, so I'm going to refrain from offering too much on that. I tend to prefer to stick to my own wheelhouse, which is a different part of medicine than that. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, story. So it's like, I physically feel the pop, right? I mean, anybody who's injured themselves knows that, like, it's noticeable, right? You know that you have screwed something up, because it's like that. You go, you roll, you pop, you snap, and bam, it hurts, it's swelling, it happens like that. So, I hobble over to the bench where my gym teacher is sitting, because, well, I can't run anymore. It hurts too much. I just fell over. I'm limping. And I say to him, I sprained my ankle. Because, again, I've done this like 10 times. I know what it feels like. But, instead of, believing me, he's like, you probably just rolled it a little. How about you sit for a couple minutes and I'll take a look at it? And meanwhile, I'm like, can I please go to the nurse and get an ace wrap or something? Because gym was the first class of the day. I had to get through an entire day on this ankle before I could get home. Because I've got plenty of medical supplies at home, but, none here? None at school. I don't carry ace bandages in my backpack. Although now that I think about it, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea, knowing me. So anyway, yeah, it's like, so I'm carrying around this, so I'm like, I really would like to go to the nurse and get an ace bandage or something, you know, to support my poor ankle. And he's just like, nah, it's probably fine. And I'm just like, I really don't think it is. And he is like, not really believing me, but finally I convince him that, you know, I've sat here, the swelling is going up, not down, it hurts even more, I'm annoyed, he's probably annoyed that I'm bugging him, and so he finally takes a look at me, and yep, one very sprained ankle, what do you know? So he finally is like, okay, yeah, you need to get this wrapped. So I finally get to go see the nurse, get my ankle wrapped up, and go on to the rest of my day. But I remember just being so annoyed because apparently it was just too much for him to just believe me. Which, I mean, looking back now, I can understand it more. People definitely liked to skip stuff like gym when they could help it. And I was not the most athletic kid. I was active, but I was not athletic. There's a difference. So me hating gym would have made a lot of sense. I didn't hate gym, for the record. I didn't particularly love it, but I didn't hate it.
Ready for departure. Enjoy your stay.
But either way, it was not the funnest thing, always, especially not when it was time to play football, like we were playing, because, well, I'm not a football person. I'm especially not a football person when I have to play with people who are actually on the football team.
My client's already ambushed one of the acolytes you tagged. Wish I could have been there. Attacking Sith is a major crime, even for other Sith. I sent the authorities an anonymous tip to watch the acolytes closely. When my clients jumped the ones you tagged, they were arrested and executed. Best work I've done in a long time.
Quite the little mastermind, aren't you?
I'm just glad that acolyte wasn't hurt. Got enough blood on my hands as it is. My loudmouth friend ought to shut up, now that the killers have been caught. That should make life easier. Here, take these credits. Couldn't have pulled this off without you. See you around, friend.
I mean, I wouldn't consider me your friend, my guy, but I'm glad to help out in this case. Anyway, yeah, good, I can run along here. That'll make it easier. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make me play football with people who are actually on, like, the school football team, I'm not gonna be the greatest. But I really wasn't trying to skip out. I just got injured because I always get injured. That's my thing, unfortunately. That's like, I was well known as a klutz in high school, and let me tell you, I've got plenty more stories, but we'll maybe save that for might actually save that for a YouTube stream. Not a YouTube stream, I stream on Twitch. But maybe a YouTube video? I don't know, I don't want to be a storytime YouTuber necessarily, but I don't know. I'd rather tell this as a personal story than ramble it on stream. Just because I think it'll be. I think I'll be able to do it better in a YouTube video. But yeah, I've got plenty of stories about how much of a klutz I am. But either way, I was so annoyed at that teacher. It was actually kind of funny how much I was annoyed.
There she is. It's Lord Zash's apprentice. Surely she knows.
You wouldn't tell us if she did.
Warbain's Brigan Iswis Buidan.
Still, it doesn't hurt to ask, does it?
Colonel, let it rest.
I will not let it rest. Everyone knows Lord Zash was at the party when Scotia was killed, and yet everyone knows she killed him. She somehow devised a way of being in two places at once. If I let it rest, we'll all be dead.
That's not fear I smell, is it?
No, of course not.
They like using that line.
But one must be ever vigilant on Dromund Kaas, so that your enemies don't gain an advantage.
Maybe you shouldn't talk so much, then.
But I must know. Please, you must tell me. How did Zash kill Darth Scotia?
Well, first she got a droid, and then a wig.
Clearly she's not going to tell you, Colonel. Let it rest.
Fine, then. Fine. But I'm warning you, Calaveras. Lord Zash is becoming too powerful too quickly. Since when has anyone in the history of the Sith committed a murder so brazenly, yet made it appear that she was somewhere else the entire time? It's enough to wake the Emperor, I tell you.
Okay, but seriously, like, with that one especially, one of the reasons that one bugs me is it's like you can just straight up tell these people, oh, I'm the one that killed him, and it's just like, wow, way to be indiscreet. No wonder things don't always go that well, especially if you can't learn to keep your mouth shut, you know? Yeesh.
Perfect timing, apprentice. I just met with that insufferable Thanaton, and I have good news.
Everyone's talking about how you killed Scotia.
Good. Let them talk. They can't prove anything, and it'll drive them mad. And my meeting went exactly as I planned. You would have been proud of me. I went into a reprimand, but I emerged a Darth.
You've certainly earned it.
I did more than you realize. Nevertheless, what's important is that we are finally free to act. Remember the map you found on Korriban that pointed us to the power of Tulak Horde? The first piece of that artifact, that power, is here on Dromund Kaas. This piece is in the deepest chamber of the Dark Temple. Scotia always hoarded the key to the chamber like a Hutt hoards his credits. Now I have Scotia's title, his chambers, his research, and his key. He always said I would enter the Dark Temple over his rusting corpse. However, I won't be the one to go into the Dark Temple. You will.
Why me?
You're not wrong,
Before
Ken,
I
but...
went to Korriban to choose an apprentice, a furious apparition awakened in the Dark Temple, implacable in its anger, murdering all who trespassed on the innermost chamber. But I had a dream. An apprentice of low origin humbled himself, or herself as it happened, before the apparition, pacifying it. That's why you and your peers were chosen.
I always knew I was special.
You've been a far more capable apprentice than I ever hoped. But for this task, you must put aside your pride. I believe that your humility will be the key. Still, I want you to know, I'm not certain you're the one from my dream. I fear I may be sending you to your death.
Don't worry about me, Master.
You're right. You retrieved the holocron from Korriban when no one else could. If that's not proof of your destiny, I don't know what is. Tulak Horde's power awaits us both. We must not lose sight of this goal. Use this glyph to enter the innermost chamber of the Dark Temple. Humble yourself before the apparition, and bring back the piece of the artifact.
Sai galut saida, iswis us ulf bundan, ja atnam, in puidangarja.
Main character syndrome. Honestly, if I keep playing this, I'm going to have to, like, record myself saying that and, like, just keep that on standby because Lord knows I've been thinking it a lot. But yeah, absolutely. This was absolutely, like, it's all main character syndrome. That's what we're dealing with here for sure. Alright. We hung out with the Ravenites. Now we need to go to the Dark Temple, don't we? Well, I'm glad that we're there at least. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go check to make sure I'm not missing any quests.
Ready for departure. Enjoy your stay.
I'll keep an eye out. I'll fly by them, probably. Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to mention to a dear friend on Discord, actually, that I was going to be streaming. I promised I would tell her because she really likes Sweater. And she might want to hang out with me, you know? So that was good to drop just to be safe. Actually, while this thing continues going around, I'm going to just real quickly send her that message before I forget again. Oh dear. Didn't mean to do that. So we'll say, come hang out, because hopefully people will want to, right? Maybe, maybe not, but it's always worth a try, right? Alright. Oh shoot, I disappeared from the webcam. That was not my intent. I thought I had it balanced well enough. Oh well. Now where did I just come from? The Kaas City expansion. I don't think I need to pick up a mission there, so... Alright, let's go talk to these people. I know.
Three separate expeditions into the Dark Temple. Not one has returned. I can't say for sure what's going on, but people who go in there, they don't come back.
What makes you say that?
Sounds I heard coming out of that place would send a Rancor running, if it was smart enough to run. You can survive the Dark Temple. I beg you to do me, and more importantly, the Empire a favor. The expeditions I sent in were looking for specific data. I can spare the manpower, they were slaves mostly, but the data is essential.
You don't have the authority to give me orders.
You're absolutely right. But please consider that you'll be doing a valuable service for the Empire, and you'll be extremely well rewarded. All I'm asking is for you to find the data the expedition collected. If all you find is bodies, bring back their data pads. This information is vital to future construction on Dromund Kaas. Please help.
If you're going to make me feel guilty, I'll do it.
I'll mark the location the expedition last signaled from on your map. It's the best I can do.
Future construction? What? Since when do... I forgot about that one. Like, what the heck? Why do we need... Why is the Dark Temple important for construction on Dromund Kaas? Like, did we lose some sort of building technique? I'll probably find out.
At last, the Dark Council has answered my petitions and sent a fine young Sith to help secure the temple.
I'm not here to secure the temple.
Of course, I've been ignored again. How stupid of me. If you're here, however, you must have the authority to enter the Dark Temple. You could still save this planet.
You have my complete, undivided attention.
The Dark Temple is ancient, built during a previous incarnation of our empire. 1,000 years ago, our own emperor buried his enemies here. These enemies remain powerful, even in death, which is why the temple was sealed. But now, something terrible has happened.
Some idiot went and woke them up.
With the Emperor's attention elsewhere, a group of ambitious but ignorant Sith thought to gain power by raiding the temple. They didn't find the relics they sought. Instead, they awoke an ancient Sith Lord, Lord Kalig, and their expedition plunged into madness.
Are they still in there?
The ones who still live, yes. Because Lord Kalig died by ambush, I believe he awakened unaware of his own death, and his expectations became reality. For those around him, his power overwhelmed all inside the temple. And even now the workers plot wars against each other, believing themselves Sith Lords, and drawing terrible power from Kalig himself.
Are there more dead Sith Lords in there?
Ah, you begin to see the crisis. There are still more ancient Sith Lords whose spirits lay dormant in the temple. If the ancient Sith Lords are woken by the violence within, they could overrun Dromund Kaas.
Let's keep them napping.
I have studied all of the burial chambers within. Each was made with the same ancient design, one we can exploit. If you fuse the 500-kilogram hinges on each tomb door, even a violent assault should not be able to wake the ancients.
What exactly does this entail?
The team I sent in earlier was using a massive metal torch, effective but slow, I'm afraid. They did not make it far. The torch must be recovered, and the doors of the ancients sealed.
Okay. Now I'm gonna have to play this mission on a non-Sith Inquisitor to see if it's still Lord Calig that is the one they're complaining about being woken up. Because if I recall correctly, isn't Lord Calig supposed to be the Sith Inquisitor's, Sith ancestor or whatever? Whatever the heck, however you want to put it. But, dang it, now I'm gonna have to play this mission again. Because I was confident that Lord Calig was a Sith Inquisitor storyline thing, not a General Dromund Kaas storyline thing. Did they change it? Did I just miss something? Did they add it to the rest of them? Oh boy. Alright, Chem, what do you have to say to me? So Chem is saying, dark energy's here, a good place for a feast. Alright. Anyway, I was thinking before. I know, it's a bit weird to send out the message like 2 hours already into the stream. But I did post on Twitter and Tumblr beforehand. I just, forgot that I actually had people that I talked to on Discord as well that might be interested. They probably won't be, but, well... Never hurts to let him know. And at the very least, the one person, she missed my last stream, and she was really bummed by it because she likes that kind of thing, She enjoys Star Wars sweater, and well, maybe she'll like to hang out. If not, it's all good. But well, we let her know anyway. All right. Oh, I have to actually kill these guys. Okay. I did not realize that we actually had... I didn't realize there was actually a bonus mission for killing these people. I've just been running right by them. Though I'm fairly certain if I go into the temple, I'll be able to kill them in there too. Yes, I will. Perfect. Well... let's kill this guy just to get him out of the way, and then we'll pick up that, resource over there. I try to keep my crew skills going with the, rest of these stuff. Although I probably won't craft anything for a while, so that'll, slow me down a bit, but at the very least, I will keep my gathering up to date for whatever planet I'm on. Gotta remember to keep leveling those side skills as well as your main character, right? Otherwise, you're gonna have way more of a headache than you want. Anyhow. Ooh. I got a fancy drop. What did you drop for me? Companion gift? A courting gift, yeah. Yeah, no, Chem is not gonna care about a courting gift, am I right? Ooh, that's right. I'm playing this old school. So the thing is I'm playing this character really genuinely old school. I'm not even taking advantage of the stuff I've unlocked in collections with this character, which that one isn't legacy specific, so technically I could totally still have things like a holo statue vendor and stuff like that. But I want to I'm gonna see if I can get through the entire main storyline like I'm completely new to the game. Just completely new. Nothing except my wits, basically. And we'll see how that goes. But I'm trying it. I don't know, just, why am I doing this, honestly? Just fun challenge, honestly, you know? I'm not taking anything from my collections, I'm not getting any legacy perks. I'm gonna probably not even purchase any legacy perks until I've at least gotten this character through the base Sith Inquisitor storyline. I will probably be more lenient with myself once I actually get through the main storyline, just because after that there's stuff like McKeb. Oh god, I'm gonna have to play McKeb. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to play McKeb again. I generally avoid McKeb. I don't really like McKeb. It's just so big. And the storyline is kind of meh, if you ask me. Like, I get it, you know, if it's falling apart or whatever, but it's just, it feels uninspiring to me, is all I can say there. It feels uninspiring. Maybe that's mean of me. I don't really care, though. Oops. Alright. Alright, here's the Lost Expedition. But yeah, it's just, but I'm gonna have to play McKeb because I very much went to the effort of just trying to playing McKeb through on one character so that I had all of the legacy stuff covered. But now I'm gonna have to do it over again. Oh no. Keep in mind, if you watch me, I don't have an unequivocally positive opinion of everything in Sweater. I do like it a lot, and for the most part, I think Sweater is a great game. Obviously, if I've been playing it off and on for 7 years at this point. But I do not worship at BioWare and EA's feet. I do have criticisms, I do have complaints. McKeb is one of those complaints. Hell, McKeb isn't even the most dramatic or drastic of those complaints. You know, it's one of them, but I actually have more opinions elsewhere. Although funnily enough, I don't much care about the canon Revan thing. Like, I know a lot of people were really upset that they actually made one specific version of Revan's story canon because it ran so counter to their own personal Revans. But I don't have a personal Revan, so that particular opinion doesn't matter to me. But I understand why other people don't, you know, have that issue, but that's not my personal complaint. I've got plenty of others though, so don't think that just because I don't mind that Revan is one specific way here doesn't mean that I don't have plenty of other opinions. Because I do. Oh boy, I do.
Do you dare approach the great Nil Venerus, Lord of the Sith, Master of the Undying Darkness? Answer me. What insolence brings you to this place, slave?
I will not tell you again. I am not a slave. I'm Sith.
What? You're not afraid of me? You aren't a mindless puppet like the rest of them? I don't understand.
I still have my senses, but someone here is out of his.
You're right. I was out of my senses. But not anymore. I was part of an expedition sent by the Empire to measure strange activity in the Dark Temple. But soon after we entered, we all became different people. I became the mighty Lord Venerus, and the others became my obedient followers and servants.
Could you try to explain things from the beginning?
We were gathering data for the Empire, and then we were all suddenly possessed. It's strange that you seem to be unaffected. In fact, it's strange to find you here at all. I thought the Imperials gave up sending people in here. What exactly are you doing here?
I'm doing a vital service to the Empire.
So the Imperials haven't given up on getting their precious data, after all. This is lucky. You see, ever since I came to my senses, I've been worried that my followers will begin to doubt my leadership. I can't lose my power. I can't go back to being a slave. but maybe we can help each other.
It wouldn't be hard for me to eliminate you and your followers.
Well, I guess that's true. Except I'm the only one who can make all the others turn in their data. All I ask is that you find the symbols of Lord Venerous's power. They were looted from his tomb by the people possessed by Venerous's enemies. The symbols will help me reinforce my followers' belief in me, lock them in their dream.
I bring the symbols, and you give the data.
Be careful. Venerous's old enemies will put up a good fight.
I mean, I can sympathize. I mean, especially this character, I feel like, can sympathize with these with his desire, you know, not to go back to being a slave. Like, I can't blame him for that. That's, you know, who wants to be a slave? Do I really want to indulge him, though? I guess we'll see. I don't mind, I guess. I can sympathize, though. I can sympathize with that idea. But, you know, oh man, you know, I really don't want to just be a slave in here, and that totally makes sense. Oh, I forgot I have force speed now. Yes. I miss being able to speed around the map. I have rocket boost on one of my other legacies, and gosh, I miss that. That was so nice to have. Alright. I have to kill a bunch of other people. I have to go seal up a blast door. I apparently have to kill this guy because I walked right into him. Whoops. That one is my fault. My bad. That one is entirely my fault, but fortunately, even the Dark Temple is... Well, I'm stupidly overleveled even for the Dark Temple, which I am not complaining about, let me tell you. I kind of like being stupid overleveled, not gonna lie. It makes my life significantly easier. And honestly, you know, overleveling, way to go. I mean, plus, like, heroics, aside from just, like, the actual, like, leveling requirements, being overleveled. Oh, hey! Somebody is popping in to view my stream again. Welcome. Welcome. Feel free to lurk, feel free to chat. We're hanging out here, leveling a Sith Inquisitor. I made a character new on my last stream and got her through Korriban. Now I'm gonna see if I can get her through Dromund Kaas on this stream. Basically, I plan to play this character on stream only, so, you will, hopefully you guys will, hang out and continue to, watch her grow with me. Which I think is fun, don't you? You know? You'll get to see this character every step of the way. Heck, you'll get to see me going all the way through a new legacy every step of the way. Because I started completely fresh for this stream. New server, new legacy, new everything. I have a couple other characters on this server now, but this character was my first one, and we are gonna get her all the way through her storyline, hopefully together. Hopefully together. Oh, right, I've still gotta kill more people. Ah, yes, things you say in video games. I've gotta murder, like, 10 more people, at least. And actually, I don't know who else I'll have to murder, but we'll see. Alright, that takes care of, oh, there you are. Let's get you done. You don't really need much more than a lightsaber to get rid of you. Ah, there we go. Now we're starting to get mission drops. Perfect. Anyhow, but yeah, no. I'm streaming this character. Once I finish streaming this character, I'm sure I'll make another one to stream. Maybe even stream, like, I don't know, switch it up, stream this character one day, another character another, but, I really want to play this character entirely on stream because I like the idea of sharing that with you guys, like sharing this new start all the way from beginning to end. Like, you saw this character get made from the start previously, and now you'll see this character do everything else and more. Ah, whoops. I thought they were both in range. But anyway, yeah, so that's what we're having fun today. We're having some fun today. Let's see. There's not a lot of storyline stuff here to talk about. I guess it's a little weird that so many Sith Lords were buried in one temple. Like, you get the feeling that a lot of, even, you know, like Sith Lords that aren't very strong, you feel like they would have, like, demanded their own tombs, etc. Or in the case of, like, Sith legacies, being in their family tombs. Unless I'm forgetting some lore here, you know, I might be forgetting some lore here. I mean, is it a thing now with, like, the Dark Temple locations? Is there a the Dark Temple? Is this where the Sith Emperor... Ah, I was right. It is a place for his dead and defeated enemies. I thought I might be forgetting some lore here. Hundreds of years ago, the Sith Emperor ordered the construction of the Dark Temple as a burial place for his dead and defeated enemies, to aid them in becoming one with the Force. Little is known of what rituals the Emperor performed there, but the Dark Temple has become a nexus of powerful dark side energy, and a place where ancient weapons and ancient secrets of the Sith lay sealed away in cavernous chambers. Although the Dark Temple grounds have always been a dangerous place for the weak-willed, the expansion of the Kaas City power grid into the tunnels beneath the temple drove 1,000 slaves mad. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't remember that either. The temple itself remained sealed until recently, when an expedition of power-hungry Sith Lords and their servants breached the gateway. The Dark Council did not sanction this intrusion, nor did it punish the rogue Sith. No one returned from the expedition to punish. Violent electrical storms surrounded the temple for the first week after it was open, and since then additional expeditions have been sent by the Council to determine the temple's status. Their reports have not been made public. You know, I really need to go through this entire codex and read all of them in full sometime. I haven't done that lately, mostly because, well, usually I just discover the lore and move on because I'm too busy playing and not wanting to bother with, like, reading through, but clearly, as you can see, sometimes it is important because I like lore. I like story, I like backstory, I like learning all about these backgrounds, and in this case, it was kind of important for me to double check that because I had a vague idea that it might be a case of, like, the reason everybody was buried here was, well, because of the Emperor forcing it, but I couldn't remember for sure. Anyway, that makes more sense story-wise. Well, good job, writers. You managed to keep at least one thing more consistent, which I'm grateful for, honestly. Lord knows there's enough things that aren't consistent in the Star Wars universe that we don't need to be having these particular
My
details
network of
be that
spies
far off.
reports that you crushed my enemies underfoot and found the symbols of power I requested.
We have a deal. I expect you to honor it.
I had not forgotten. I, too, have been very busy. Here is the data my servants collected before the temple transformed them. Let the Empire make of it what they will.
Enjoy your empire while it lasts.
Yeah, there's something
Actually,
to
that reminds me. There's one last itty-bitty little thing you can do. You see, power is useless without subjects. So I'd be grateful when you turn in the data, you'd encourage the Imperials to send more expeditions my way.
You're really every bit as conniving as the real thing. You know that?
Yes. I do think I finally found my true calling.
You know what?
I can assure you, my gratitude, if you send more slaves to be my followers, will not be insubstantial.
Let's see. Do I really want to doom more people to this madness? I'm not sure. It's, I forgot that he, wanted you to do that, actually. But it makes sense when you think about it. I've certainly probably killed enough of his followers just running around doing my thing. But I will have to think about that. I'm not sure I really want to enable that further. Oh, you again. He respawned, which I am a little bit annoyed at, but the temple has a fairly fast respawn rate, which I guess makes sense. So many people run through here. Anyway, well, let's hang out and chatter. Well, I'm chattering to myself right now. Good thing I'm good at that, right? comes of living alone as much as I have. Makes it easy. I'm still working a little bit on externalizing, as you might say, I'm still working on externalizing my internal monologue for streaming, but I think it's going well. I think I've got plenty of thoughts running through my head that I kind of just keep on rambling about. Let's see, I'm gonna check how my stream settings are doing real quick just to see what's up. Yep, it looks okay. At least it's not, you know, hating me. Says I'm live, says I'm fine that way. Let's see what Twitch has to say, too. Twitch should be fine. But it never hurts to double check. How is my stream doing? My stream manager. Oh good, it says it's fine. That's perfect. It says that I'm live, it says that my connection is excellent. It looks like my bitrate isn't doing too bad either. You know how it goes. I've always got to make sure. I don't want to... I like being able to monitor myself just to make sure it's all good. But it looks fine. We've got 2 viewers. My webcam. Sorry if when I lean out of view of the webcam like that, it's not intentional. Like, oh, I hate you guys. It's more along the lines that I can't. This computer. This laptop isn't bad, but it's not like particularly fantastic either. And so I actually have a different laptop that I keep my Twitch stream monitoring up on. You know, the stream manager in your Twitch creator dashboard? That's up on a different laptop just so I can make sure that I'm not overloading one computer and breaking everything. Actually, fun story. Like, so we've been doing some research lately into building computers, just kind of because, frankly, it's interesting, you know, and sometimes, you know, I want to learn something interesting, so I drag people along with, and sometimes other people want to learn something interesting and they drag me along with. This was the second, but I have to admit I am enjoying myself greatly in the whole dragged along sense, so I'm not complaining too much. But anyway, point being, turns out that a lot of times one of the reasons that... Oh no, he fell through the floor, huh? Let's see if I can just area of effect this. Alright, we got it. I hate when enemies fall through the floor. It's such a headache when you don't have good area of effect type thing, attacks that you can just sort of like throw out there. But anyway, so we're looking into it, and it turns out that a lot of times one of the reasons people might have when they're building a computer, especially if they're streaming, is especially if they want to stream with that computer, one of the reasons they might build a computer with 2 CPU units in it, 2, which is, you know, like I was kind of sitting there going, why do you need 2 CPUs? You can't, because it turns out it's not even so much that you chain them together in order to get more processing power. It's more or less if you just want to run 2 computers out of one tower, and a main and a big reason for why people want to do that if they're streaming is because one CPU runs the game and the other CPU lets them run their streaming software and monitor it. So you can, and then you kind of just set up a 2 monitor combo. One monitor for your game and your stream and the actual streaming itself, and then the other one has your stream up so that you can actually monitor yourself without putting too much demand on that one processor. So basically it's just a more efficient version of what I'm doing, which is a little bit more, well, in the immortal words of Overly Sarcastic Productions, it's a bit of a jankier stream setup. It's not bad by any means, but it's one gaming laptop and one personal laptop and a gaming headset that I have all kind of linked together. And the gaming headset is how I'm talking to you and listening to my game. And on the other side of things, I've got the other laptop making sure that I don't disconnect without realizing, basically. And that's important too, because I'm still kind of learning how Twitch works, and Lord knows that I do not want to mess up something as simple as I'm just talking to myself because, you know, my stream, because Twitch decided to disconnect my stream or something like that. You know, all that goofy kind of thing. Fortunately, it seems that Twitch, I mean, yeah, I don't have a super high graphics thing right now. That's, you know, that's just unfortunately limitations of the gaming laptop being used. The laptop isn't that badly off, but it's definitely meant to just play games, not both play games and stream. Which, will, if if I continue to stream, which is the current plan at this time, who knows, there might be some developments in the future, either a better laptop or some other kind of setup. I mean, I've been talking about laptop building, so I'm sure you can sort of guess what like, not laptop, but PC building. So maybe that gives you a hint, but it's by no means certain yet, and I don't want to say too much. I've honestly been really getting into this whole, like, PC building thing, too. I'm not an expert by any means, but, for someone whose focus was in the biological sciences, I definitely like computers and like learning about the hardware of computers a lot. Well, or, and then I was like, but I also like learning about this, and this, and then it's like, well, let me correct myself. I just like learning things. I just really like to learn about anything and everything, really. I mean, oh, excuse me. Admittedly, things like anatomy and physiology, I had to take that for a class, and I had to take that class for my degree, incidentally. And that class I didn't always have that much fun in. It's just, I like learning, I do. I'm not that much of a fan of just memorizing things, though. And let me tell you, so much of anatomy and physiology is just memorizing things like bone names, bone orders, which bones connect to other bones. Oh hey, 3 viewers, welcome. I am glad to see you here. Feel free to chat, feel free to lurk. Say hi if you want to, and just hang out even if you don't. I hope you enjoy the sound of my voice, though, because I like to talk. Even if it's just to myself. But anyway, yeah, anatomy and physiology. It's not that bad. The physiology portion of it is actually quite interesting, because that's more focused on why things work, why the body does what it does, and why that's important. You know, what does, you know, like, your muscles work in this way, and this is why, and this is how we, you know, are able to move. So physiology is interesting. Anatomy's mostly just memorization, I'm afraid, and if you don't like just memorizing facts and figures, it's probably not going to be the greatest time for you. Of course, if you're good at memorizing, if, you know, you don't mind that kind of thing, and you've got a great big brain that can just store all these facts without a problem, you'll probably do great. I mean, I didn't have a problem passing the class, I just didn't think it was very interesting. But the problem with just being forced to memorize things is that if you don't like doing that, or if you find that hard, it's not a great class. It's literally just, these are all the bones, these are what the bones look like, these are, you know, these are the order of the bones that connect together, and then you get into doing that with, like, with the muscles, and oof, that was not always fun, let me tell ya. Again, not the worst thing in the world, not the best either. So many muscles in the human body.
Hello, stranger. My internal chronometer tells me it has been exactly 963 years since this hologram was made. Have the Sith truly lived in fear of me for so long?
I guess that would depend on who you are and who you ask.
A careful answer, but you certainly don't need to fear me. This image is all that remains of Kelethur. Like so many before me, I challenged the Emperor and was buried in this temple. Fortunately, I had just enough time to make this, an interactive image that would transmit my secrets to whomever was bold enough to find my tomb and unlock it.
Actually, I was trying to seal up this door for good.
Then it's true. The Sith still cower in fear of insignificant me. The way of the Sith lies in channeling the Force through the use of powerful emotions. Fear is the chief of these. The Sith feed on palpable dread.
Is there a point in all of this?
As I discovered, no great knowledge comes without great patience. Fear gives temporary power, and passion is easily manipulated. Real strength in the Force comes when one is no longer afraid. And one can purge fear when one stops grasping, after power, after things, after life itself, and allows the Force to guide him. There is only the Force.
It's nothing like the Sith philosophy I've heard about.
Sith philosophy claims to break its followers' chains, but instead traps them in their own fear. What I learned only lives on through this image and its device. Yet I am one with the Force, eternal and at peace. Take them. Take my teachings to the Sith. They will find power there, but a different kind. Not of darkness, but light.
Sure.
The world must know what you've learned.
The Sith should know fear is not the only way.
You know
As
what?
for me, my message is concluded.
This
I will
character
now
doesn't
depart.
like fear. Let's avoid that. You know, we'll that in this character I don't think likes being told what to do. So anyway, if you're new here, welcome. I do tend to shut up when a cutscene is going on, just because I don't know. I feel like talking over cutscenes is. It strikes me as rude in a weird way, which is maybe a silly thing, but it's like, one, I usually want to listen to the cutscene because it's been a long time since I've played these. I don't remember these. And two, maybe you guys want to hear it too, right? Like, maybe this game is new to you, maybe it's an old familiar friend, but either way, you know, maybe I assume you want to hear what these guys are saying too. I will happily ramble through all of the combat, though. Anyway, where was I? Anatomy and physiology, right? I mean, it's because it's like you start with the bones, and then tests are things like they give you a bone and you have to identify it just by looking at it, which, whatever, not that bad, I guess. But again, it's pure memorization. There's no concept you can learn to apply to this. You just have to know what the thing looks like. And then you get into muscles, and it's 1,000 times worse. There's so many more muscles than bones, and some of them look exactly the same, and like, or there'll be tiny muscles all in like one specific chunk of the body, and it's just, ugh, not fun. Not fun at all. And you know, I much prefer learning why things work as opposed to just learning what things are. So keep that in mind if you have to take an anatomy and physiology class. Have ways to make sure you memorize things, because if you will need to memorize things. Especially in anatomy lab, because anatomy lab is basically all you are looking at this thing, you are memorizing this thing, you are identifying this thing that you have memorized on a test. If you're not doing, and that's what it is. You can do a little bit more conceptually with the physiology part of it, which is in the classroom usually, because again, the classroom and lab pretty much are always connected together, right? It makes sense, because in those cases, you sometimes have class labs that don't always mesh perfectly with their actual classes, but in anatomy and physiology, it actually meshes pretty well. Anatomy and physiology lab is focused on the anatomy. Whoops. Anatomy and physiology class is focused on the physiology. you know, they mesh together quite well that way, even when I wish they wouldn't, if we are entirely, fully honest. You know, because, we just discussed my dislike for just having to memorize things without actually being able to learn anything specific. But yeah, no, so it's not bad, but it's not great. Where were we? But yeah, you know, I don't know. If you can try and find classes and teachers and learning styles and classes and teachers that mesh with your learning style if you can. You won't always have an option, especially in some of the higher level classes. You might only have one teacher, you know, and you just kind of got to figure out how to work within that teacher's framework because it's the only option at that school. In some, you can sometimes cheese it and take it at a different school and transfer the credits, but unfortunately, a lot of schools have gotten wise to that sort of method and don't always allow it, which, you know, is also frustrating, but... Anyway, yeah, that's... Gosh, anatomy and physiology. I hadn't even thought about that for a couple of years, and here I am ranting about it for like 10 minutes. It's... Like I said, it's not a bad class. It could be a lot worse. But it relies on a lot on memorization, not a lot on learning and applying concepts. And since I am a conceptual learner, I like it when you tell me a concept behind a thing and then lead me through applications of that concept. It did mean that anatomy and physiology was more of a challenge for me than I necessarily liked. Could be worse, could be better, you know how it goes. But I worked my butt off and I aced it. So you know what? That just, you know, sometimes you just gotta suck it up and do the thing, right? Just gotta keep working. Here I am talking about college. I thought I was done with college. You know, I thought I was so excited to graduate because it was time to move on and, you know, go to the next thing, the new, you know, the next step in my adventure. But, well, sometimes that next step in your adventure means, well, in this case, it means hanging out on Twitch, remembering the last step. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm having a great time talking to you guys. I hope you're having fun listening, but I won't lie. I was not planning on college being the thing that I would talk about for, gosh, yeah, at least the last 20 minutes. Most of my run through the Stark Temple. Let's see. What other classes did I take about that I had opinions on other than just anatomy and physiology? There was biochem, I suppose, but hang on, I'm gonna run through this cutscene. Oh. Yeah, we're trying to fight a ghost, and it doesn't...
Yes. I have been waiting for you. I felt your movements in the Force, and they stirred me from my nightmare. I am still too weak to leave, but I knew if I made myself enough of a nuisance, you would eventually come. The Sith throw flesh endlessly at what they cannot control. And here you are, blood of my blood. Here you are.
What are you talking about?
Ah, you don't know me. Has our family fallen so far that the daughter of my daughters does not know the name of Calig, the name so long revered in the annals of the Sith?
You are my descendant. By how many generations, I do not know. But know this. Your strength in the Force has awakened me from my stupor.
I thought I was crazy.
Do not mock me, child. You do not
Oh, I
even
mock
begin to
everybody,
understand
buddy.
who you are dealing with.
this planet trespassed my tomb, I rose, resuming my former life. This temple became my kingdom, and I was once more a Lord of the Sith. But when you first grasped the hilt of your lightsaber, I knew my hour had come and gone. That your strength, not mine, would return our family to glory.
But I'm a former slave.
That is my shame. I was once one of the greatest lords of the Sith. If I'd been wiser, I could have secured my family's greatness.
I could write an entire series of books called Sith Being Short-Sighted.
By a man called Tulak Horde, whom I trusted as a friend.
I places amins wise fools. Gawantida seek from Tauhans.
Sorry, Ken, we're not gonna do that.
Your master is dead, beast. You serve the child of Khalid now. Flesh of my flesh, you should teach your servant to obey.
I will deal with him as I see fit.
I also don't want to piss off Ken too much. I like Ken.
Not to take obedience for granted.
Oh, I don't, but I don't see any reason in making him even angrier than
restoring
I
our
have
bloodline to glory, you must not make the same mistake. Treachery is the Sith's endless game. You must win it.
I couldn't care less about our bloodline.
Fool! You think that you have risen to power in spite of your nothingness. But your nothingness must have had a purpose.
Does it really, though? Does it really,
when
though?
that purpose is exhausted, you will go back to being nothing. Beware your master. Beware your apprentice. Never be taken by surprise. Do these things, and you will be unstoppable. But you have not come to see me. You have come for the artifact I managed to wrest from Tulak Horde before he died. Take the artifact, but be careful. I know not what it does. Only that betrayal follows it everywhere.
When betrayal shows up, I'll kill it.
If only all things were so simple. Keep your eyes open.
I try.
I hunger for the day when our power will be restored. We will meet again.
See, here's one of the things. Maybe if I had been playing a human or a cyborg or even a Zabrek, I could actually believe that that ghost was, you know, my great-great-great whatever's grandfather. But I'm playing a Twi'lek. Please explain to me how those fit into that guy's helmet. They didn't. Like, I don't believe that they did. Another holocron. I also apparently have hammer space pockets. Where? I don't know. Do you see anything in that rope that would be considered a pocket for a holocron like that? Oh well. Time to call Zash?
Apprentice, do you have the artifact yet?
I have the artifact in hand.
Of course. Brilliant. Magnificent. Hurry back to Scotia's, my chambers. I cannot wait to see this artifact. And I have a surprise for you.
What kind of surprise?
Trust me, you'll love it. Now hurry back with the artifact. I can't wait.
That is never... loving that a surprise is never guaranteed when it's a Sith I'm dealing with. But maybe this time it'll work out. Anyway. Maybe. Alright, let's see. Let's return to those people and chat with them. Oh no, I'm in... Whoops. Completely was looking at the wrong direction. Anyway, welcome to any viewers who are new to my stream. please feel free to, if you like what you see, hit that follow button. I'm slowly working out some kinks to see if I can set up more of a steady schedule, but until I get a schedule sorted out, your best bet is probably either to follow me on Twitter, at AirlyMusing, same name, same logo, so there should be no confusion, and because I tweet out there when I'm going live, or you can just follow me right here and you'll see when and you'll get a notification.
Ah, the only thing more powerful than the Dark Temple. Any luck getting that data?
Here's your data, as promised.
Hey, you actually came through. Can't say I was expecting that. Can't say it's not a relief. Now we can finally stop sending expeditions in there, wasting all those slaves who should be building monuments to the Empire.
No,
Actually, I think data like this calls for more expeditions.
Had a look at it, did you? Well, it's not really my call to make, but I'll forward your recommendation to my superiors.
I'm sure they'll see the wisdom of my suggestion.
I'm sure they will. Now, our business is done here. Goodbye then, and thanks for the data. Your service to the Empire will not be forgotten.
But yeah, I never expect or demand anyone to follow me or anything like that, but you know, if you're enjoying the content you're getting here, then the best way for you to find me for now is probably to do something that gives you a notification, because like I don't have a schedule set yet. I'm gonna try
You're
though.
back. I hope you sealed the chambers of the ancients, Keleth Ur's chamber especially. I'm terrified to think what would happen if Keleth Ur and his crazed ideas were to re-emerge.
Actually, I brought something from Keleth Ur here.
What? What's this? How could you? No, I want no part of this. Please, destroy it. Bury it. Steal it away.
That's not fear I smell, is it?
They get
Clearly
so
you
much
don't
mileage out of
understand.
that line.
Throughout history, the light has endeavored to destroy the darkness. The Emperor was right to murder Keleth Ur for his heresy. Peace, serenity, words for the stifling of the very emotions that drive us.
Just take it already.
Fine. I will take the teachings and see that they are locked away.
Oh, I
Now,
don't want to do
please
that,
leave.
but I
The
don't
temple
feel like
is safe, and I
replaying
must
this
take
convo.
these teachings back to my chambers and make sure they're secure.
That wasn't quite what I meant to do, but that's okay. I am still learning and remembering how these darned I used to remember what every single conversation I used to remember what every single conversation result would be, but I don't anymore, which is too bad because sometimes that results in little screw-ups like that. Hey! Swizzle! Nice to see you! How's it going? For anyone who can't see my chat, Swizzle just popped in to say hello and how I'm doing. Things are going well, I've been streaming for a couple hours, been having a fun time, trying to power through Dromund Kaas today, because, well, who knows how long I'll be able to actually do entire, planets in one day of streaming. Sorry you haven't been around. Yeah, I'm already up to 3 hours. Yeah, no worries, you know, I never expect anyone to watch my stream. I'm just happy when they can pop in, you know? I hoped I would see you today, though, because I know I didn't give you a time when I was streaming. I wasn't sure what time I was going to be on at first either, until I managed to get some other stuff done, but now I'm here and, having a good time. Gonna see if I'm gonna try and get through Dromund Kaas on this stream today, though, so, I think I've got to talk to Zash, and then I'm gonna run a couple heroics, because as you can see, I believe there is no kill like overkill, and I'm going to overlevel myself as much as humanly possible. Makes my life easier in the long run. But yeah, welcome. So how, anyone who... Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Since your link wasn't working. If I could type it out. You know what? Give me a sec, and I will absolutely type it out for you, but I don't remember the number that goes after my name, so I'm gonna have to look it up. Because my username is... You know how Discord works. Let's see, there we go. I copied it. Thank goodness I have more than one laptop going right now, because, that's me. Please note, anyone else who just decides to send a willy-nilly request, other than the specific person that I'm talking to, will probably get ignored, because I'm kind of private, and if I don't know you, I'm probably not gonna accept a request from you, but go ahead and add me Swizzle, cause, I've got it up. There you go. Alrighty. Oh, and I'm stuck. There we go. You missed out on a couple good rants too. I've been talking to myself for a while. Not that I mind, that's the point of streaming, but I think I ranted about anatomy and physiology for a good 20 minutes just because I had to take that class a few years back, and oh man, did I have opinions on it. Then again, I don't think I've ever met someone who went to college and didn't have a lot of opinions about at least one class that they had to take. Anyway. Alright, let's trigger this conversation.
Fantastic, apprentice. You're just in time for my surprise. Since you left for the Dark Temple, I've been reading and reading and reading. Scotia's chambers are a treasure trove of research. Now, who would have thought a man like that had such a curious intellect? It almost makes me regret that we had to kill him. But let me see this wonderful artifact you found.
Okay.
You mentioned you had something for me.
Indeed I did, and I'll get to it in a moment. But tell me, how did you manage to pacify the apparition?
First
We're
I took
gonna
a
lie
magnet,
about this.
and then a chance cube.
Fair enough. Your secrets are your own. I, however, will not be so guarded. I've been studying Tulak Hord's artifacts closely for some time, and one glance at this one you've brought back confirms everything I've suspected. These artifacts will change everything, apprentice. You especially. They will make you more powerful than you could imagine. I have foreseen it.
I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit of power.
Never such as this. This artifact is one of 5 that together describe a peculiar ritual used by the great Tulak Hord when he conquered the Dromund system. Until I have all the artifacts, I cannot understand the full nature of the ritual, but I have foreseen that you alone will wield the ritual's power. The artifacts are scattered across the galaxy, some hidden by Tulak Hord himself, and some wrenched from his hands by betrayers. Documents and Scotia's effects point to Balmora and Nar Shaddaa, but I will need to do more research to locate the other 2.
I'm on it.
I'll get started right away.
It's not much to go on, but I will continue my work behind the scenes to get you more information. But first, I believe I mentioned a surprise earlier. If you're going to find these artifacts, you'll need a ship, and so I have ordered you one. All you need to do is pick it up.
For me? You're too kind.
Admittedly,
Yes,
the ship is
you've
exciting.
earned it. You'll find your ship at the spaceport. Then the galaxy is yours to explore. Don't forget to contact me when you reach each planet for more information on the artifacts' locations. Good luck and good hunting.
Ababarna habens, Glaubena, ni in usakwai, usiterens apipao.
Ken. You know, I like him. I do. But, whoo boy, is he not subtle. Sweet, a new lightsaber? Oh, but this other one is actually... It's slightly less damage, but better other stats, huh? I'll have to decide. Well, hopefully I won't have to decide, actually. I'm gonna run some heroics. Ah, plans and the call. Alright, now we start going off planet now. Fantastic. But you know what we're gonna do for now? We're gonna untrack our class missions. And we're gonna go kill some stuff and get some more armor and XP. Because, you know, as I've said before, no kill like overkill, and I will happily overlevel for every single planet I ever have. Alright, you know what? Let's go kill some Mandalorians first, right? That's what we did before. Let's go do that. Oh, I lost a viewer. I guess that's fair if I'm... I don't expect anybody to watch me or to follow me, but I appreciate everyone who does. You know, it's nice. And again, like I said, you know, if you want to follow me, if you don't want to follow me, that's all your choice, and that's fine. But I'd appreciate any follows, because I appreciate any follows that you want to give, and if you're liking what I'm talking about, then, well, honestly, if you want more me to chat more about college, then shoot a question in chat, and I will do my best to tell you what I know or think I know, and you know, and if you're enjoying this, if you're liking hearing me rant a little bit, then hey, you know, maybe shoot me a follow, and you can hear more. Or if you don't want to follow here yet, if you're not sure, you can always follow me on Twitter. I don't just post streaming stuff there. Oh, jeez. I am getting really hurt by these people. Wow. Either that's my fault for having a really bad rotation, which is entirely possible. Gotta relearn all my combat rotations too, which is just what I wanted to do today. But yeah, I never expect anyone to follow, but I appreciate you guys that do. If you want to follow on Twitter and also get occasional see some more personal comments from me, I can do that too. At Airly Musing, I'm kind of new to I'm newer to the whole social media thing, which might seem like a weird thing to say, since I'm definitely someone who seems like I would have grown up more in the social media era, but I'll be honest, I was kind of suspicious of Twitter until lately. I just didn't understand the point of it. But I'm starting to learn more about it, and I'm thinking it's better than I thought it was. So could be worse. Could be worse. Discord I use as well. I use that a lot actually, but that's a little bit different than Twitter, a little more private. Although I'm in way too many servers right now, I think I need to go through and do some culling. Just because some of them I'm not active in at all, and that's, you know, what's the point? Anyhow. Yeah, so thanks for you guys who are hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I hope you're having fun. If you want to ask me any questions, feel free to do that. I may not be a perfectly open book, but like, you know, I'm not gonna tell you exactly where I live other than California. Just, I'm sorry, I grew up I grew up being raised on a lot of internet safety things, and so I'm not quite as open as a book as some of the other people. Like for example, those YouTubers that give like house tours and show like basically exactly where their house is, they kind of give me heart palpitations, because how I don't know. I feel like you got to be more careful than that, I guess. I can be paranoid. But if you've got questions about college, I've just wrapped up 6 years of college, so I feel like I have a decent amount of experience in that system to talk to you about. If you are curious about any opinions I have on Star Wars, I can probably help answer that. Well, at least as far as the Old Republic stuff goes. I was always more into the expanded universe stuff, I always found that more interesting than necessarily some of the cartoons that came out. Just personal preference plus time investments. I read a lot faster than most people can talk, so it's just I preferred books for my Star Wars experience. I could cover more ground a lot quicker, I guess, that way. So that is where I got most of my Star Wars experience outside of the Alright, thermal detonators. Let's try this one again. Sorry you were making barbecue ranch chicken wraps for you and the kids. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Sounds like you guys are eating well tonight. That's awesome. I made, like, that chili we were talking about was a huge pot, so I think we're probably gonna eat that again tonight. Because, well, I'll be honest, I learned one way of making things, and that was in bulk. Because it's nice to have leftovers. Anyway, but yeah, enjoy those chicken wraps. Those sound delicious. I've just been sort of ranting to myself. Yeah, you do kettles of chili? Pretty much, yeah. I've got a slow cooker that I don't actually know how many quarts it is, but it's a decent amount, and it was full. It was full of chili, so we will be eating well tonight. Although, actually, I don't know, it might not last as long as I think, because I think we might be having someone coming over in the next day or two, and they're doing us a favor, so the least we can do is feed them, you know. We gotta. So there's that too. Where is a demolitionist that I can kill? But yeah, soup especially, it's easy to do very large amounts of, and I personally think that's the best way to do it, because there is nothing like having leftovers of delicious soup for days and days on end. The thing I made before the chili was a pot of baked potato soup, and man, that turns out so well every time. I thought it was gonna last us like at least a week, and I think it lasted us 3 days because we both just couldn't get enough of it. You know, but that was probably helped by the fact that there was bacon in it. Bacon covers for a multitude of sins. Or at least I would argue it does. Because, you know, I mean, you do one thing of chili, chicken corn noodle, and vegetable soups, and each family gets about 2 gallons worth of each to freeze for the year because you prep for hard times. Well, we? I don't know. I'm assuming there might have been a typo in there, so I'm gonna wait for a sec, see what else you have to say. You each get about 2 gallons to prep for. I don't know if I make it quite that much. I don't think I make quite that much chili, or any soup really. But I put well us instead of well we. And then gotcha. I know how that goes, man. Sometimes I'm just typing too fast for my own fingers. My brain goes faster than my fingers can keep up, and then interesting things happen. Yeah. Yeah, but we don't make 2 full gallons of stuff just cuz well, our freezer isn't very large is honestly the issue there. And right now it's full of I got a bunch of frozen hamburger on sale for really cheap, and we kind of felt like that, like put that plus we've got a bunch of frozen chicken breasts in there that we will cook up in short order. But that's more what we But that's more what's in our freezer as opposed to pre-made stuff, just because, your mom and pop, your family of 5, your sister, her family of 5, your other sister and daughter, and your brother and his family of 4. Jeez, you got a whole clan going on there. I'm an only child, so, it's a bit of a different experience there. And my mom is an only child as well, and neither of my dad's brothers have kids, so that makes for a much smaller close family than most people would, I think, would have. I've got a lot of more distant cousins, but we don't have to see those every day, so which is probably for the best. Not that I don't like them. Yeah, understandable. You know, I love my family, I do, but sometimes it's nice that that the main group is a bit smaller than the rest. I mean, it's not like we don't have plenty of people around, because all my grandparents had a lot more siblings than that, so it's like we get plenty of the family reunions are still plenty big, let me tell you. But as for like Christmas is pretty small, pretty chill, and I think we like it that way. And then I went and moved away from like basically all my family anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, even with my but I understand what you're saying about getting together and doing a big family like cook up to free stuff. We used to do that a lot with my grandparents, just because there's some stuff that you make it in large batches. It's better in large batches, but it sucks to make in a large batch by yourself. You gotta have that assembly line mentality going. Specifically for us, Fleischkikla was the big one. And I just realized that probably no one outside of North Dakota and Minnesota is even gonna know what the heck I'm talking about there. Or maybe you do, you know? Give me a shout out if you do, I guess. It's a German word, so maybe if there's any Germans in the audience. Alright. Okay, this is the second time in a couple days I've played this mission, and I'm honestly just glad that I actually managed to remember. Halupkis? I have no idea what Halupkis are, so I guess we're mutually unintelligible. What Fleischkikla are is they are kind of a thin pastry dough that you wrap around like seasoned hamburger with like onions and garlic. Usually you wrap it around there, you seal it up. It's kind of like, it's basically like a little hand pie type thing. It's like in a semicircle, and you make the dough, you put the hamburger in it, you seal it up, and then you deep fry it. Or in a lot of our cases, what we had been doing more was we would bake them and then freeze them so that they just could be like warmed up in the oven when we wanted to eat them. But they take a lot of work to make, so it's better if you can do it with your entire family. Oh, I thought I could dodge around these guys, but I could not. It's better. Burger wrap and cabbage with rice and topped with pasta sauce and baked in the oven. Hi, man. That's what I know as, that is what I know as pigs in a blanket. That is what I grew up calling pigs in a blanket. That I grew up calling pigs in a blanket. Was hamburger wrapped in cabbage, usually cooked in with tomato soup poured over it and baked. That's what I call pigs in a blanket. I didn't even know that pigs in a blanket could also be hot dogs wrapped in croissants until I was in my teenage years, actually, because we didn't do it at home and I didn't have friends that did it either. But yeah, no, Fleischkikla are more of like a hand pie type thing. You're supposed to basically you wrap hamburger in pastry and then you fry them. Pigs in a blanket is hot dogs wrapped with croissants. That is exactly what I didn't know for a really long time, and it also depends on who you talk to. Because if you talk to a lot of people who grew up in in North Dakota and Minnesota, especially if they have German heritage, they will think it is what I said. Because that is what we grew up with. And I even confirmed this with someone who grew up not very far from where my grandparents are from. But yeah, I didn't know about the hot dogs in a croissant until I was significantly older than one would normally imagine, like 15 or something. Because for us, pigs in a blanket was exactly what you described: the hamburger and cabbage with tomato soup, or tomato sauce. I guess it was tomato. It just basically it had to be tomato. My grandma used to make that for us all the time. She hasn't made it in a while, but it was good. You think Kalbke is a Pennsylvania Dutch word for it? Probably. I've heard references to Pennsylvania Dutch stuff before, and that's kind of its own little dialect, isn't it? Or at least that's how I always heard it described. Somebody just texted me. Oh. I gotta go fiddle through my app notifications again. They all like to go off at me, and I don't like it. Anyway. Ah, shucks. You know, I could probably make an entire video compilation of all the times I thought that I could dodge around an enemy, and it turned out I could not. Because that's happened at least like 3 or 4 times already this stream, and it will probably happen again. Stuffed peppers, you haven't had that in a while? Yeah, I haven't. You know, I've never made stuffed peppers. I've had friends that have made it, but I myself, I don't think I've ever made those on my own. Mostly just because when I buy stuff like bell peppers, I don't usually keep them just fresh in the fridge. I cut them up and freeze them so that they're ready to be put into things like soup. Or omelets. I used to make really good cheesy bell pepper omelets. Used to be something I would make a lot of. But I'm not buying as many eggs anymore just because, not that I don't like them, but I haven't been eating them as much, and I didn't want to have to throw them out. But stuffed peppers are delicious, and I kind of miss them. Ah. What did I just say? What did I just say about I could totally make just a video compilation of all the times that I thought I could avoid aggroing somebody, and I could not avoid aggroing them. We were having some issues with that last night too, incidentally. I didn't stream last night because I was playing with some other people, and I was playing with some other people on a Discord call, and we just kind of didn't feel comfortable with that. But it'll probably help if I click the right way. But you would not believe they were giving me so much crap, and it was admittedly deserved crap, because the problem is that I was playing DPS because I always play DPS. It is my preferred role, and fortunately I tend to play with people who accommodate that. Or maybe it's just they know that I have a hard time tanking, and and they don't want to deal with the inevitable struggle that is me relearning for like the 5th time how to tank properly. But either way, so I was playing DPS, but I kept forgetting that I was with a group. Which meant that, you know, I did what I'm doing now, which is basically I run around, I do my own thing, I see some enemies that I have to fight, that I either want to or have to fight, and I go do it. Which, unfortunately, meant that I was leaving my tank behind. A lot. So much, in fact, that they were teasing me and saying, well, why don't I just, you know, I just want to tank this whole area, and it was just like, I didn't want to tank, I just forgot that I actually had a tank I was playing with to tank for me. Which, you know, I try not to take that for granted. I genuinely deeply appreciate. Again? See what was I saying? What was I saying?